Hey, my lovely audience, I'm Jasmine Sidhu and I'm back again with an exciting session today. In my today's session, I have taken up the explanation of Chapter 11 from Beehive book prescribed by CBSE for 9th class students. The name of the chapter is If I Were You. This is basically a play and it has been penned down by Douglas James. Now, if I talk about the author, Douglas James was an American author. He was born on 13 October 1888. He had written a number of plays including The Savages, The Ice Goddess, and Not Traffic Straight Ahead. His style of writing was lucid and simple, but his works, they are basically enlivened with a well-polished humor and straightforward dialogues. Eventually, he passed away on 11 December 1946. Now, let me introduce this play to you. Now, If I Were You is an interesting play that has mystery, suspense, surprise, and a lot of humor. The author maintains the suspense till the end, and the level of curiosity and interest is never broken throughout the play. The story revolves around two characters, Gerrard and Intruder. Here, the intruder intends to kill Gerrard and impersonate him to escape the law, but the tables are turned on him as he is trapped due to Gerrard's presence of mind. So, ideally, the title If I Were You is appropriate. Why? Because over here, I is intruder who wanted to impersonate. You over here is Gerrard. He wanted to impersonate Gerrard's personality, but that uncertainty persists throughout the chapter, and that's why if has been used. This if looms forever with no hope of becoming a concrete reality, right? And the theme of the play emphasizes the significance of intelligence, presence of mind, and a cool head in situations of crisis. Panic complicates the matters, hence, a tactful planning and handling of a situation can actually, trap even the so called smart criminals. And a very strong message has been conveyed through this play, that is, overconfidence can actually lead to disastrous results. We might have experienced at some point of a time in our life that when we are overconfident, we generally tend to lose that battle. So overconfidence is not a good trait. Confidence you must have, but you should not be overconfident. And intelligence, presence of mind, and cool-headedness can actually help us to overcome gravest of the problems that we may encounter. In any of the worst situations, if you're able to maintain your cool mind, you'll see that you're going to quickly find out the solution for the situations. Rather than getting panicky or having anxiety, you'll end up confusing your own self only. So we should have that calmness inside us. So let's look at these characters. The play actually revolves around these two characters. One is Gerrard and the intruder. Intruder, if I talk in the layman's knowledge, it is basically who is actually forcefully entering your house. A person without your permission enters your house, that is the intruder. And Gerrard, he is actually the protagonist over here, and he has been portrayed as a man of many virtues. He lived in the wilds of Essex. He is endowed with a brilliant wit, a sharp mind, and smart thinking, and of course, a sense of humor. He has been associated with theatre, and he writes, he acts, and he provides props for the play. He is basically a refined, cultured man who keeps his cool even in the most difficult situations. And on the other hand, Intruder, he is basically a confirmed criminal who makes an intriguing plans, right, to dodge the police. He has evil intentions and crafty plans to achieve his aims. He is cold-blooded, cruel, and he doesn't hesitate from murdering innocent people. And why he does that? For his obviously selfish gains. His wickedness cannot sustain him for long. We'll see that how the tables are turned for him in this play. Now, how the play begins. What is the opening scene? The opening scene is at Gerrard's cottage. We could see that a small cottage has been set up on the stage, and that cottage, it was actually a room, and it had an entrance on the right hand which was covered with a curtain, and there was another door to the left side of the room which was actually the functional door. It was basically used by the author and the people to move in and out from the cottage. The room was very simple, and it was having simple furniture, just a small table to the left, a chair or two, then a small bed on the right side, and on the table we could see a telephone set. This is what was set as the stage when the curtains rolled up. That is how the play starts. So when the curtain is raised, we could see the person Gerrard talking on the phone, and he was actually taking a call from his client, and we could see that he is of medium height, and he was wearing horn rimmed spectacles, right? And he wore a long suit and with a great coat, and his voice, the way he was speaking on the phone call, he seemed to be very cultured and well educated man. Now when he was talking on the phone, suddenly at that moment the entry of the intruder happens. Now actually he was talking with a client whom he had promised to deliver the props for rehearsal. He was busy packing for travel in this connection when a flashily dressed intruder wearing an overcoat and a soft hat and carrying a revolver in his hand enters the room. However, intruder, he didn't want to announce his arrival, but accidentally he bumped against a table, and which caused a noise, and it alerted Gerrard about intruder's presence. Gerrard, he tries to figure out who the intruder was, right? But the latter, he threatened him with dire consequences, and he told him that, see, I'm not here to tell you about myself, but I'm here to know more about you. So this intruder, he had actually committed a murder, and he was wanted by the police. So he came with an intention of taking Gerrard's identity so that he could live peacefully. He wanted to know the details about Gerrard before killing him so that he could imitate him well, right? So that was the reason behind his coming to Gerrard's cottage. Now, intruder, he talks with Gerrard, and he told that he was specialized in robbing and was being chased by the police as he had already murdered a cop, right? Rather, he threatened Gerrard that if I'll do another murder by killing Gerrard, that won't be a big deal because punishment is same for all the murders. Maybe it is one murder, two murders, or three murders. He will be hanged till death for once only. So he was trying to actually threaten Gerrard that don't be smart, otherwise he'll gonna shoot him, right? And Gerrard, he could actually sense that the intruder was planning to murder him, and he wanted to know the reason from the intruder that why he came with this intention to his cottage. The intruder, he replied, right, that if I will kill Gerrard, if I will kill you, then I would be living a life of freedom, and I would be able to go to places, eat and sleep without the fear of being chased or caught by the police. He further adds upon to the plan that how he came to know about Gerrard. So he says that while he was on the run, he reached a town called Aylesbury. Over there, he noticed Gerrard, and he felt as if, the personality is identical. And then he overheard two men discussing Gerrard. He overheard their discussion, and through that discussion, he came to know that Gerrard was strange and mysterious. He came to know that Gerrard would order things over the phone and he will actually not meet the tradesmen, right? And he would go away and return suddenly. And Intruder, he actually wanted to do such things, right? And he got that ray of hope in his heart that he has actually found a man whom he can impersonate and he can live his life peacefully. And that was the reason why he came into Gerard's house, and he announced it clearly to Gerrard, and he told that you better sit on the chair and you answer my questions rather than trying to investigate who am I, right? So he made Gerrard sit on the chair, and Gerrard, he got to know the intentions of the intruder, and he actually tried to give him a story, and he started narrating that definitely I would tell you about my life, how I was stolen by the nomads when I was a small child, and what is the reason at the age of 32 also I am living alone in this cottage. He started to weave a story, right, rather creating an air of suspense. But Intruder, he did not pay attention to his story. He told him that I'm not interested who picked you up and why you are living alone. I just wanted that you should answer my questions so that my future life should be comfortable. And he bombarded him with the questions. He asked him about his Christian name. He asked him, do you own a car? And uh, do you live alone? How many people visit to your house on daily basis? So he tried to extract this information from Gerrard. Gerrard, he very smartly, he told his Christian name. Christian name, I hope you understand, it is basically baptism, the name ceremony, the name kept by the parents at the time of the birth of a child. So he told that my Christian name is Vincent Charles Gerrard, right? And then, listening through the story of the intruder, having exchange of dialogues, Gerrard, one thing was very clear to him, that the intruder, he sensed that he was just overconfident, but he wasn't smart enough, right? Thus, he further plans out something witty and he lies to the intruder and he makes up a story quickly, as we know that he was a playwright and writing stories, it was a small thing for him. So he quickly made up one story, and he told that he himself was a murderer, a criminal. He told to the intruder that his game got over actually when he killed someone with a gun, and after that it was unfortunate that one of his accomplices was caught by the police. Though Intruder, he did not give weightage to his story, but Gerrard, he kept on speaking. He told that actually the person whom the police had caught, he had given evidence against him, and that particular night he was expecting a raid from the police people, and they can come to his cottage any time to catch hold of him, and that was the reason why he had packed this bag and he was ready to escape. Okay. Now Gerrard, he further tried to convince the intruder that he was carrying the props as well, so that if the need arises to change his appearance, he could change his appearance in order to hide himself from the cops, basically to dodge the policemen. And he requested the intruder that there is no time for him to explain you further, but one thing he assures that if you find something fishy, you have the gun, you can kill me at any point of time. This he told to the intruder, and intruder, he was a bit confused, but he began to think upon the storyline of Gerrard. And when he was thinking, that was the opportunity for Gerrard. He quickly saved his time, right? And he told him that we should hurry up, we should run away from this place in his car to a safer place. And he further added that he had made one of his accomplices to stand on the road, right? So whenever he'll gonna see the police, he'll gonna warn him, and just being lucky at that moment the phone bell rang, and immediately Gerrard told Intruder that it's time for us to leave. And he showed him a gateway. He told him that, see, this is the garage door. We'll go through this garage door, and the car is parked there, and we'll sit and we'll run away from this place. Now, Gerrard, he opens a door, right, and he himself steps away, right, and the intruder, he tries to peep inside that garage door. It was basically a dark cupboard which was giving the impression, right, as if the door of a garage. So being very smart, this Gerrard, he uh, took the privilege of the situation, and when intruder was peeping inside that dark cupboard, he gave him a push, right, and he knocked down his revolver, and immediately he latched the door. The intruder kept on rattling the door and shouting, let me out there, let me out there. But Gerrard, he just was down to his business, and in that spur of moment, he picked up the phone call and he attended the phone call very coolly. And that phone call was actually from one of his clients, right? If you remember, in the beginning, he was talking to that client only to deliver the props. So now it was the phone from the same client, because he was waiting and he didn't reach to the place and delivered the props. So he was calling him again. So he told him that sorry, he apologized that today he won't be able to deliver the props, right? And he will deliver it tomorrow. And he told that there was some problem at his place, and he told the client that you better send a sergeant to his place so that the situation should be under control. Now, if you sense this whole drama, you could see the body language of the Gerrard, that he was so cool. He was rather, getting panicked or confused. He was amused by the situation, and he was so amused by this incident that he decides to use it as a plot for his next play. This shows that Gerrard was cool minded and he was a playwright. So he found a story out of every situation. Thus, we see that how a little alertness and cleverness saved Gerard's life. So that's all in this play. I hope you might have understood the play nicely. And if you have understood, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.